3 years into the pandemic, still many questions are haunting us about the virus, the vaccine, and big pharma's big business. One such question is really disturbing, and we are yet to get an answer. What's that question? Well, the question is, why did the first batch of microscope photographs of the SARS-CoV-2 virus come to us from a research hub in the US state of Maryland that used to be the epicenter of biological weapons? Our probe goes deep into this question. Thank you for tuning in. This is Ratna. You are watching Empire Diaries. We are talking about Fort Detrick, which the mainstream media never told you about. Fort Detrick is a high-security US Army base in the Maryland city of Frederick. It is a bioresearch center that was among a few hubs around the world that gave us the first images of the coronavirus in the early 2020. In the first 3 months of 2020, the world was given multiple high-resolution images of the coronavirus taken from a transmission electron microscope at Fort Detrick's IRF, or Integrated Research Facility. That facility is part of the US NIAID, which comes under the NIH, or the National Institutes of Health. At that time, the virus's microscope images were also taken at the NIAID's biolab in Hamilton, Montana. The National Institute of Virology in Pune, along with the ICMR, also gave us the virus's images. So did the Faculty of Physics at Germany's Bielefeld University and the CDC's National Resources Bank for Pathogenic Microorganisms in Beijing, China. Fort Detrick stands out as the odd one on this list. Why? Because it used to be the epicenter of America's highly secretive biological weapons program for 27 long years. The top secret bioweapons program was launched in 1943 by US President Franklin Roosevelt. During its time, the project stockpiled and weaponized dangerous biological agents that cause anthrax, tularemia, brucellosis, Q fever, Venezuelan equine encephalitis, botulism, and Staphylococcus enterotoxin B. In 1969, after pressure and growing criticism, US President Richard Nixon was forced to discontinue the bioweapons program in order to be seen as taking firm action. However, Fort Detrick survived the storm and emerged as the headquarters of the US Biological Defense Program. Isn't it worth asking and probing why and how the notorious former bioweapons epicenter is closely associated with research on the COVID-19 virus? Is the link merely coincidental, or there is more to it? Here is an even more disturbing piece of the news about Fort Detrick. In July 2019, 5 months before COVID-19 struck, some biolabs at Fort Detrick were suddenly shut down following orders from the US CDC due to safety issues. Then on March 27, 2020, 16 days after the pandemic was declared, the CDC said the biolabs can be reopened for research. We dug deep into Fort Detrick's legacy and found that the research facility has an extremely dark past, which the mainstream media never reports on. The most alarming episode of Fort Detrick's former bioweapons program was a secret project called Operation Sea Spray. It was a top secret US Navy project carried out in 1950. It was a bio-war test in which 2 types of bacteria were secretly sprayed over the San Francisco Bay Area in California. The mission was to understand how a top city like San Francisco handles a dangerous bioweapon attack. The details are very disturbing. From September 20 to 27 in 1950, San Francisco's 8 lakhs residents unknowingly inhaled 5,000 particles of the spray. America's secret bio-war testing didn't stop with that. In a 1966 project, the Bacillus globigi was released in New York City's subway system as an experiment to simulate an anthrax outbreak. Other strange and dangerous anti-animal field tests were also conducted at Dugway Proving Ground in Utah and at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. In fact, even after Nixon downgraded the program from bioweapon to biodefense, Fort Detrick faced other major criticism. In October 18, 1984, Washington Post reported that the deadly AIDS virus was being reproduced at a research center in Fort Detrick for research purposes. A special team at the Frederick Cancer Research Institute was producing 250 liters of a fluid that contained the virus that causes AIDS. But now you know the chilling history of Fort Detrick following our investigation. Doesn't it strike you as odd that the initial photos of the coronavirus emerged from that same location? Is this a missing piece of a puzzle that we will never be allowed to find? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we publish a report. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Stay informed, stay awake.